Okay, cool. Now we live. All right. Man, we here to discuss all NBA team for a second and third team selection. You just want to do the all NBA teams and don't do defense and all rookie. You want to do
We
that
can
in
do
another
it.
video?
We can do it. It don't matter. If you just want to do all NBA, that's fine. But we can do it however
Yeah.
you want to do it because I mean it's a lot of discussion that's gonna go on with both of those teams. So
Yeah. For all right, first and foremost, before we even get into it, we'll say the all rookie and the defense for last if we got time, and if not, then we'll do it in another video. But they want to keep the same format: two guards, two forwards, one center, right?
I hate what they're doing. Go ahead. I'm gonna let you finish though. I hate what they try to do. I know what they're gonna try to do. Go
How do
ahead.
you feel? How do you feel about them doing it by position? I mean, because I'm cool with that, right? But
Yeah.
when you have a situation like this year where Jokic and Embiid both played lights out, one
Mm-hmm.
of them just, I mean, I'm cool with one of them. You just got to pick one, right? How do
I'm
you
cool
feel
with
about
that.
it?
I think what they're gonna try to do, and I hate that they're gonna try to do this because they said it earlier that uh Embiid and why just for the record, they do when they send it to the reporters and the people who vote on this stuff, they say put the player at the position that they're most likely to play. Like, of course, people can move up and down. Sometimes DeMar DeRozan can play guard, he can play forward. But what do you
Right,
classify him in? Um, I
right.
think, I really think this year what they're going to try to do, especially with the Embiid and Jokic, because both of them just, I mean, MVP caliber seasons. They're going to put one at forward for first team.
Yeah, I
I
hate
think they're
that.
going.
I don't like
I
that.
hate it if they do that. I'm not gonna like it because I think I think this is part of the challenge. You tasked with picking a player who's the best player, who you feel is the best player, and if you feel like it's the Joker, put him on first team. Put Embiid second. If you feel like it's Embiid, put him on first. Don't do that. Like, don't do it. Like, make a decision. Make a decision, man. Like, I don't make it say, okay, well, since both of these guys have been playing lights out, they both primarily play center. That's what they play.
Right,
Yes, sometimes
right.
they have a big on the floor with them, but they both are centers in my book. Different styles, different play styles. Both of them play crazy. I think Embiid gonna win the scoring title now.
Yeah.
Which is a topic for another that we already discussed.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I just want them to have a clearer understanding because I don't know what they going. Are they classifying DeMar as a guard this year, or is it or a forward? Because I'm one time he was a forward, and I don't know what they classifying players as.
See, it's easier to do it for wing players because if you're a wing player, that goes all the way up to 1, 2, and 3. That goes up to point guard,
That's
shooting guard, small
mm-hmm.
forward. You eligible for either, right? If you're a wing player, and then if you're a special wing player like LeBron and KD, then you'll be eligible for both
Or
forwards position, small forward, power forward. So I mean, we get that. Common sense should prevail. Like we know that Luka plays point guard for the Mavs, and they got him listed as their point guard. But the way I picked it, I picked him as a forward. Yeah, I
in
just
my
did.
opinion,
And,
he's a forward.
yeah,
I
and
think
he's
he's a
eligible for
forward.
it. Yeah,
I just think
yeah,
I think that
yeah, for sure. Dominique Brown said they had no problem putting Embiid second team all these years, but now the Embiid had the better season than Jokic. They don't want to put Jokic second
Mm,
team. That is a good point.
that's a
I'm with you
solid
on that.
point. That's a
Yeah, I'm
solid
with
point.
you on that.
That's a solid
Yeah,
point. Solid,
yeah, I'm
solid.
I'm with you on that.
How can you even argue that point? Now they want to put
So
both. Now they want to try to put both of them on there.
yeah, so it's this year is a lot of little flim flams like that. Even if you want to go down to Trey Young, I know you want to talk about that. That that's gonna be interesting. Is the crazy year that he had.
Yeah.
Yeah. So let's do this.
Okay.
Let's go with your third team. Just give it to me, and then we'll talk about it. Give me your third
Whew.
team.
All right. This was tough. This was tougher than I imagined. And as much as I'm I'm a Trey Young guy. You see the Hawks in the back. I'm a Trey Young guy. Like,
Right.
but I also understand if there's a difference of opinion when it comes to him in particular, because I mean the Hawks are the ninth seed. You get what I'm saying? We're playing those Hornets, Wednesday, I think it is. So I get it. And so it has to be some penalty for that. But the best ability is availability.
Okay.
So
how many games he play?
76.
Okay. And he's like top 5 in scoring, right?
Top 5 points per game.
Right.
Top 5 assists. Finished.
Right.
I just found this out right before we started. Finished with most total points and most total assists.
Yo, that's crazy.
That is ridiculous.
That is crazy.
And I didn't know that's tough. He's a little dude, and that's the thing that I don't know if that's fair or not for me to even look at that, but he is a little. He's a regular sized human playing amongst giants, and to do that, I think is special. Thanks. So, spoiler alert, I put him on my second team, but let me go ahead with my third team.
Okay, that's gonna be interesting, man. Because for him to be on second team, that's gonna be a conversation. All right, go ahead.
It's about to be right now. It's not gonna take long. I promise.
Okay.
Right. For my 2 guards for third team, I got CP3.
Okay.
God, this gonna sound so bad.
Go ahead, spit it out, man.
It's gonna sound so bad what I'm about to say, man. It sounds bad to me. It sounds bad to me. God, I put Devin Booker on my third team. I put Devin Booker on my
third team. Third team.
It was either him or it was either him. Because of how I got it set up, it was either him or Ja, and I get putting Ja. It was a toss up. I'm like, I'm putting Trey second. In my mind, I already said I'm putting Trey second team All NBA.
Right.
Because
right. Okay. I ain't gonna get mad at it. I'm gonna challenge you though.
I know you're gonna challenge me. That's why I wanted to have this conversation. If nobody else was gonna be here tonight, I wanted Mel here tonight. And reason I said the only reason I ended up going with ended up going with DB is because I started looking at numbers, and I know that is not the eye test, because eye test tells you when Chris Paul went out, Devin Booker led that team. They were still good. They were still the best record in the league.
Right.
But the only reason is because I looked at. Okay. And it's unfair. I'm gonna be 100%. It's unfair. Booker been doing this for a very long time, and I think that his supporting cast is so good, especially Mikal Bridges, because I think he's probably one of the most slept on players in the league. Just looking at his availability, he ain't missed a game since middle school. Seriously, and with what they have, I feel like. His scoring, for him not to average as many points as, say, whoever, I think he might be top 10 still in scoring, but I think Ja averaged more, even though he played less games. I know Trey averaged more, and I had to make a decision. I knew I was going to put Steph because I didn't forget what he did in the beginning of the season, even though he missed a lot of games lately. But I knew I was going to put Steph somewhere up there, and I was going to put Trey in there, and I had to put CP in there, even though he missed games, but he is what you epitomize as a floor general. So I know it's unfair, but that's why I put him. All right.
So it's interesting. You got CP3 and Booker on third team and my rule that I tell myself is that if any team is going to have multiple All-Stars or multiple All-NBA players, it has to be a team that's at least number 1 or number 2 on the East or on the West, right?
And they are that,
right. And Phoenix is the best team in the league by far. And I'm cool with them having 2 players on the All NBA team, and multiple All-Stars. So that's cool. But third, I think is low. I think it's low for Book. Maybe not for CP3, but for Book, that's very low.
It's low. It's low, and I struggled. I'm still struggling because I was thinking. Then I started playing shuffleboard with my All NBA because I'm like, well, look, if I put Luka at guard, would I still have to do? Then I started talking myself in and out of players, and so I was like, you know what, this is more difficult than I thought, and this is one season. I'm gonna be real. Like normally, I can be watching the games and look at the stats and see who doing what teams is where, and I can say, all right, yeah, this dude deserves All NBA. This season was a little tougher. It was tougher for me, because you got guys, you got the guys who got the stats, and then you got the guys like I'm gonna use and trust me, I'm gonna go ahead and get this out of the way. One LeBron James, okay.
All right, you got him at
yes,
the 4, okay.
At one of my forward spots. It was tough. I was when I was looking at forwards for that third team, I didn't know how I was going to do. I didn't know whether I was going to put I didn't know where I was going to go. There's some good forwards in the league, like so. Right. I knew Giannis was going to be somewhere. I did not put Joel Embiid at forward. He's a center, so he's going to be. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not doing that foolishness that I think the NBA might try to do this year. And I'm thinking, okay, who else? Then I started thinking about the East, and I thought about, okay, is AD? No, he just been banged up all year, regardless of what his numbers are, which I don't even know what his numbers are.
Right.
Siakam had a great year at the forward spot, but I still, I said, okay, comparing the two, I could easily say, well, Siakam, probably the best player on the Raptors, clearly better team than the Lakers. But LeBron James is averaging, what he's averaging. He did that on purpose. Anyway.
What is he averaging? 30? He's averaging 30.
30.
Siakam's averaging 22. So my question is this.
Yeah.
When you have a scorer that's scoring a lot of points on a horrible team, and the Lakers was a horrible team at 17 games below 500.
Mm-hmm.
It ain't nothing different than what we've seen. I'm not saying that these guys scored 30, but I seen them score like 24, 25. I mean, I seen Ricky Davis on Cleveland ball out on a bad team. It's not that impressive, right? It's really not that impressive. And if a player with a lesser name would have done what LeBron done this year, it wouldn't be getting any type of praise because we all understand. Look, someone has to score the points. Like every NBA team scores at least 90 points a game. Well, in this day and age, every NBA team scores at least 100 points.
100, right? Yeah, that's what I'm about to
say.
So
whoever the best player on that team can score a third of those points because they're going to get a third of those shots. They're going to get 25 to 30 shots a game. And what do we see? The first, THT came back when the first time someone got 28 shots, he had 40.
Anybody? Let me tell you something else. Another example. I remember, it wasn't the year Kent Bazemore and Marshawn Brooks played for the Lakers, and they were pretty much the primary ball handlers and scorers for the Lakers. Both of those guys earned contracts with other teams based on those seasons because they were putting up career highs.
Yeah.
If you're the best player on a horrible, horrible team, your numbers are going to be. THT could have possibly been in the 25-point range had LeBron and AD not been there. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
I agree. And so I started doing some research and I started looking like, okay, how many teams have not been, okay, the play-in is new. So I said, how many teams have been 8th seed or lower and had a player make All NBA? And I saw AD did it with the Pelicans one year. I think it was 2017, the year before he got traded.
What he make 13?
Yeah, he ended up making third team.
As a
Kemba
center?
did it. Yeah, they put him as a center, third team center. But at that time,
it's hard to find a center on a third team because most of the time it's Rudy Gobert. Right.
It's always Rudy Gobert. Like
Right.
he's the
So,
13.
yeah.
Except for I'll probably still put him. I had a toss up, and we're gonna get to that too at center.
Okay.
For those two, and it's coin flipping. I'm looking at my paper. I still got a question mark right here with two names, and I'm gonna need your help deciding who you think I should go with. I got two.
Okay.
But he's my forward. My other forward is, and this is probably questionable. And I did this, and because team success has to get factored into it, right?
Yeah.
I think it has to. I think you have to, at least, because if that's the case, then Trey's the MVP because he did what he did, but he's not because we a ninth seed.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? So I think team success has to get factored into it. And so I looked at the best player for the number one team in the East, and that's the Miami Heat right now. And so I was like, I put Jimmy Butler as my other forward.
Okay. That's fair.
Yeah, that's fair. Okay, yeah. That's fair. I just didn't know. My way of thinking is, okay, I can look at your individual stats, and he don't got the individual. He's never going to have them because that's not his style of play.
Right. Right.
He's never going to have those super duper gaudy numbers. He don't take a lot of threes. He's a tough-minded defensive guard / forward that guards the best player on the other team every single night and can average 20 points a game.
Okay.
That's just who he is. All right. Boom. Third team. So we already said, I ain't gonna say which one is which, but Joker and Embiid are my 1 and 2 teams. So for third team, I'm looking, and normally every year is Rudy, right?
Right.
Because what he does defensively. But this year I had a little problem. It's a guy in Minnesota,
right,
that's making some real noise,
right.
So I was in the toss. I'm like, okay, how do I do this? Team success. I looked at the Jazz, and I've been looking at the Jazz probably the last couple of weeks because they've been blowing some crazy leads.
Right.
Crazy leads. Nonetheless, Rudy Gobert, double-digit points, double-digit rebounds, crazy amount of blocks, gonna always be in the defensive player of the year caliber player. Cat, Karl Anthony Towns. He offensively, he added the 3-pointer to his game. He can score with ease in a team that hadn't been competing in a long time.
Right.
Is in
the play-in, and they've been playing good since the All-Star break. Yeah, really good
basketball. Like since
they got a 1-2 punch there.
They finally have something to be like, yo.
Yeah. Is Cat a forward or a center though? I got him at forward.
I'm not mad at that. I'm not mad at him being a forward because, again, just like you said, when you got players big, he's a big, so you can be a power forward or a center because he's played both.
Right.
I mean, he's a shooter, so sometimes if you get another big down there that's more post or paint oriented, you can have him on the perimeter, take another big out of the paint. So when you talk about basketball, he can play both big positions. So I'm not mad at that, but I had him as a center, and I gave him the edge.
Okay.
Over Rudy this year.
Okay, that's fair. You go laugh at my list.
Okay, go ahead.
Here's my list, right? So Rudy, Karl Anthony Towns, Pascal, Trey, and CP3, right? Like I said, my rule is if you're the best team in the league and there's an option, there's a possibility to get 2 of your guys, especially if they're performing well, some awards, you got to take that opportunity. And I think Mikal Bridges should get a lot of votes for defensive player of the year. And I think Devin Booker should receive some votes for MVP. And I think Monty Williams should receive some votes for coach of the year. Right. Yeah, and then of course CP3 should be rewarded as well. And I think this is the way you reward him, by giving him another all NBA selection. So Trae Young, CP3, unfortunately, I couldn't have that same thing and pick 2 people for the Jazz. So unfortunately, I picked CP3 over Donovan Mitchell. Right.
I did too.
Right. So
it sucks, but
so Karl Anthony Towns, Pascal Siakam, he's doing it on both ends of the floor. And Rudy Gobert is the front court. So that's how I had the third team. So I see that you went with Butler instead of Siakam, and then you went with LeBron instead of, I think that's the only difference. I had Gobert in there. You had So
that was it. Those are the only differences, and I am. Your list is good. I mean, it's good. I really second team. I already said that I didn't know how I was gonna put things around it because me being stuck on putting Trae Young as my second team guy, it made it difficult for me.
Yeah.
And I didn't realize it until I said, nah, Trae Young second team, and then I started building around those teams, and I'm like, guys, really good dudes.
Yeah. I'm interested to see your second team though, man. But I mean,
right.
but do you agree with how I look at the top teams? Like,
it's fair, man.
Yeah,
you fair. It's an unbiased opinion. Mine might be a little biased, but but nah, that's fair. That's fair. If you got, that's one of the reasons I put Jimmy Butler in there, because I'm like, man, they're the best team in the East, and the East is tough this year. Like, it's really really tough. I think it was like even now with all of the regular season games being over, I think what separates 1 through 10 is like 5 or 6 games. So it's like it's been close all year. So it was tough. And then so if you reward Devin Booker's going to be on here, you got to put CP on there too, regardless of the injury history. And because before the injury, they were the best team. During the injury, they were the best team, and it's the end of the season, and they still the best team in the league.
I'm real interested in your second team, man.
Okay,
but I go first this time. You go first on the first team. So
all right,
second team. Oh man, second team. There it is, man. Read it in week, right? So Nikola Jokic, KD, Luka. I told you I didn't put Luka at point guard. I think his natural position is definitely shooting guard.
Forward.
Not shooting guard, but small forward. And then you got to reward DeMar DeRozan for.
It's hard not to.
Yeah, I mean he's not in the MVP discussion anymore, but I mean you look at how he performed and look what he did for the Bulls. Got to get him in there. Steph Curry, even though he didn't finish the season strong, he started very strong and broke the record and everything. It's a big season for him, man. But that's how I got it. And now you see the sneak peek. I put Jokic at the second team, and I'm thinking about that means Embiid's my first team center. But think about what Embiid did, man. No Ben Simmons to start it. I know Nikola didn't have Jamal Murray or Michael Porter Jr., but Embiid had no CP, no Ben Simmons. He won the scoring title. He's probably leading in the MVP discussion, and he probably get the votes. I think he'll get it.
Yeah,
and then and then you get James Harden over there underperforming, and he's doing a lot, man. And so is Nikola Jokic, but I'm giving it to Embiid all day, every day for this season. But that's how I got it.
I'm not mad at it. I'm not mad at it at all. And I told y'all, 76ers fans, we told y'all was on the short end of the stick of that trade. And we ain't even seen Ben Simmons on the Nets, and I don't think nobody want to see that, to be completely honest. I don't think nobody want to see the Ben Simmons, Kevin Durant, Kyrie Irving lineup that they can deploy with. Even if it's not this year, next year is going to be a problem. I think James Harden, him going over there, to me, and watching how he underperformed, solidified it for me that I'm going to start with center, that Nikola Jokic is my second team center.
Okay.
He solidified it. He solidified it. Joel Embiid, what he's been able to, and this is not a knock on Jokic. I mean, he's probably number 2 or 3, depending on how you look at it in MVP voting. It's just that it's the center that's playing better than you right now, in my opinion.
In my opinion as well. I agree 100%, man. I mean, like, is there any argument that Jokic is outplaying Embiid? Like, what's the argument?
You're a big white boy from Serbia. I don't know.
I think that's what honestly I think it is. I don't know, man, because I mean we would be very hyper sensitive. I mean, like when Tiger Woods performed so well with golf in a sport that's usually not dominated by a person of color, man. Like we would the first chance we get to get him some type of accolades, I think we'll be like hyper with it as well. Same thing, with
and I think so. There's some truth to it.
Yeah, I think it is. I mean, because it's as soon as the media get a hold of a good season for someone that's in the NBA that is not a person of color, whether it be Dirk or Steve Nash, they waste no time. Oh, we got to find every reason to give this person this award. Luka Doncic has been the preseason vote for MVP for the last 2 years.
And ain't finished in the top 3, in my opinion, in any of the years.
Yeah. I'm like, man, how y'all gonna how many times y'all gonna say he's the preseason favorite for MVP and he underperformed? Like, he's the preseason favorite for the last 2 years, man. So
and that's not a knock on Luka, because he has really been playing well this season. But you can't I guess you can if you're the NBA. They have their picks and their favorites. I guess the unlikely guys, because it's always a black dude that can run fast, jump high, and shoot better than everybody. And so when you get a guy like the Joker, who is a skilled big, he's skilled. He's a skilled big. You want to hold on to that. You want to hold on to that. But I mean, I had to put him on my second team because I just feel like if I'm keeping the center, you play center. You're not a power forward. You can play power forward. You can play a lot of positions. You are the primary passer and playmaker for your team, but you're still a center, in my opinion.
Facts.
So I wouldn't put you at guard. Even though you're the primary ball handler, you handle the ball a lot. So I did put him on my second team. For my first forward, got KD. He's KD. I don't really have to say much more about KD because the man is just. We beat them the other night. The Hawks did. I think it was a big. I know it was a big game because we were still jockeying for position in this play-in. We beat them, but what I saw KD do in the third quarter, I think it was, he completely took over the basketball game. We probably, minus KD, we probably would have beat them by 20, but we were a Trae Young 3 away from it being a close game in the end. This man had 55. I swear in the third quarter, he was doing whatever he wanted to do, and there was nothing we could do. Nothing. I saw, and Nate McMillan is not much of an X and O's guy, but he was trying everything. You get what I'm saying? Like he was trying everything. KD was hitting one leg threes, falling out of bounds in the corner. He was just doing what he did.
Man, he's been doing a phenomenal job, man. Before the knee injury, they was number 2, number 1 in the East.
Exactly. But that's he missed 21 games, and they were terrible because that was still during the time when Kyrie wasn't allowed to play home games, and they didn't have KD. So he's if it wasn't for another forward, he would have been first team, and we'll get to that. I got DeMar DeRozan as my other forward. Like I said, he's a wing player, so he could have played in the guard or forward position, in my opinion. So I put him at the
look. I really wanted to put KD first team. I was looking at it. I was like, okay, Tatum had a great season, right? KD had a great season. KD's averaging almost 30 points a game. And I'm looking at what he's doing. I'm like, okay, he missed the 20 games. He's in the 7th seed.
Yeah.
Tatum didn't miss that many games. He got his squad in the 3rd, 4th.
I think they locked in the 3rd.
I was like, man. So I ended up putting Kevin Durant second team, man. But I really wanted to put him first.
This man is doing this after the Achilles injury that is a career ender for most. And that is the thing that, okay, we already knew what he was as a scorer. Nobody can really stop KD, honestly. But to be doing this after an Achilles injury and arguably probably like just as good or better, he doesn't have to be I think he had a triple-double today. He's just doing whatever the team need him to do. So it was the same argument. Me and you was having the same argument in our head.
Yeah.
And so I kind of given away who one of my first team forwards is.
Look, you mentioned the triple-double today, and that wasn't a bad shooting night. I mean,
bad shooting night. I think he
horrible shooting night.
He didn't hit 1-3 this game. Like
he's like 0 for 6 behind the arc. You know what I mean? He missed a lot of shots in the first half. Most of the free throws he hit. And but the assists, I mean, he had 16 assists, bro. 16 assists, 10 rebounds. You know what I mean? Like the dude. Hey, I get that people think Giannis is the best player in the league, but
I'm not gonna fault him for it because Giannis, the way Giannis produces points and rebounds and blocks, and he does a lot as far as production goes. But if we're talking about basketball skill, he can KD. This is why we call it
KD's the better player.
He's the better player.
I think what's going on is that the Bucks as a team play so well.
I mean, they're great.
The results that the Bucks get is what is the allure with saying that Giannis is the best player. If Giannis did everything he did statistically and on the floor, but his team was in the 6th seed, you would have no ammo to say Giannis was better than KD, right? And the only reason why KD team is not the best team in the East is because of injuries, Kyrie sitting out, and Harden being.
They made a huge trade in the middle of the season,
right? Yeah, like and this team never has been. I mean, the first year this team was put together, you had Kyrie miss the season, KD missed the first season, and then the second season they come in, and then they make a trade for half their team for James Harden, right? And then they only play less than 15 games together, and they go into playoffs, and they rocking and rolling, and then Kyrie goes down, and then Harden goes down. So we've never seen Brooklyn get to where the Bucks are at, where this team has, created whatever identity they go have. They know everything they got. I mean, they just set. Like Brooklyn is still progressing. We haven't seen their best yet. So I mean, it's kind of unfair to take the team's success and use that as a reason why to put Giannis over KD. You just look at the two players individually, and KD is the best player. It's really easy for me.
Yeah, and I couldn't agree more. Like KD is still the best back, and I think it's always been a thing with the NBA when it comes to individuals and teams. Like I think just because Giannis could have had the best record in the NBA, but if I say who am I picking $100 on the line to play a one-on-one game, I'm not picking Giannis.
No,
I'm not. I'm not picking. I'm not picking them no matter how down. Now that team, the way they play together is super cohesive, and let's not act like he's playing with some scrubs. Drew Holiday and Chris Middleton are good basketball players, bro. Like simple as that. They rarely miss games, and they're a good team. They are a good team. So he has a good team around him, which has led to the success that they've had. I mean, they won the ring for crying out loud. Yeah. But if we talking about one-on-one basketball skill, who is the better player of the sport? I'm not picking nobody except for that 7-foot dude that plays like a 2-guard.
Yeah. Before you finish your list, I want to put this comment on the screen real quick.
Okay. All right.
I think this is something he said like 10 minutes ago, 15 minutes ago. I never did get to it, but Nick Shine said, I can't see how, and I think he was referring to me saying Embiid was the MVP. He said, I can't see how. He said Jokic has better numbers than the last time he won it. He has to win it, right? So is that the precedent you would set where if I have a season where I'm 15, 10, and 10, like Nash was, or whatever Nash had when he won the MVP, if I come back next season and I'm 20, 10, and 10, that means I did better. I scored more, right? than I did when I won my MVP. But this other person is outplaying me. You have to give it to me because I set a precedent for when I won it, and I'm doing better than that. I don't think that, and that's
why you can't do that.
Yeah, and the best example for that is you give Russell Westbrook a triple double for winning it. I mean, MVP for winning it, for getting a triple double, averaging, and then he does it the season after that and was like, "I did the same thing I did last year to win it. Why I ain't win it this year?" It don't work like that.
And that's
how you see it.
I see it the exact same way. You can't do that. I think Russell Westbrook is the great example when it comes to basketball. I think Matt Ryan, he won an MVP. He won an MVP, and then the next year he had almost identical numbers. He did not win the MVP. He did exactly the same thing that he did. We had around the same record. He didn't win it. He wasn't even in the conversation for it because it's based on so many other people playing better than you. You know what I'm saying? Like you can have the same numbers and you're going to be in the conversation. I think him having better numbers than the last time he won it puts him in the conversation because his numbers are great. He like breaking records statistically with all the stat geeks and stuff. But his team, like, you have to take into account, if I got these two players and their numbers are similar, but this guy's better and his team is playing better, they're a higher seed.
Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't matter what this guy did previous years, that's not a knock on him, but at the end of the day, I got to give it to this guy.
Yeah.
He's just, he's been the better player. It's only for a season. Now, next year, we're going to have this conversation again. You know what I mean? We're going to have this conversation again. And I don't think that, this is a knock on Joker. I think, if anything, this is a praise to Embiid. Number one, he played over 60 games this year.
Yeah. That he usually don't. I mean, I'm proud of him for playing so many games, man, because he usually missing some games.
He played. I think he made 66 or 68 games. Like, that's a lot. And for a 7 foot, 300-pound dude who plays above the rim, he can step out. He's great. He's a rim, paint defender. He rebounds the basketball. He can pass. He can shoot.
He hits the floor a lot.
And he's always on the floor.
He hits the floor more than I want him to. And the way he fall is like a true fall, man.
Exactly. It's not graceful at all. It's a 300-pound man falling on the ground.
I mean, every time Embiid and Durant hit the floor, I'll be like, oh, come on. Please,
I just get up. I close my eyes for a second because it's just, it's definitely, it's tough to watch because I want to see NBA greatness. I enjoy seeing NBA greatness, regardless of what team I root for. If there's a guy that's putting up that's most improved or whatever the case may be, is he's doing something like Embiid is doing this year, it's just, I like looking at it. I'm a fan of the sport before I'm a fan of a team because that's why I fell in love with the game. So yeah, man, I can't put Joker in again. I got it. Embiid's playing better. His team has more success. And, and I think that the bottom half of the Eastern Conference right now was better than the bottom half of the West. So he had to go through tougher teams. We had a Chicago team that was tough for everybody. You had these teams like scrappy teams in the East that's like us. We are not good, honestly, defensively.
Hornets as well.
Hornets, like these teams that can beat any good team on a given night. Like he had to go through that, and he beat a lot of these teams. And these guys, I think they're going to reward him this year with that.
So your second team was Joker, KD, DeMar, Trey. No. You had Trey, and then
I had already said him, and I went ahead and put Luka there.
Okay,
I did put him there. Yeah, okay. I did put Luka there. Just because, like I said, I put my pigeonhole myself when I said before I had a blank slate, and I put Trey second team, and I'm like, I am not moving him from this spot, and it kind of pigeonholed me. But again, Luka. Wow, listen, man, I need to be his truth guy. You know what I mean? Like, call me. I won't charge you nothing. If he comes into the season in shape, and plays how they've been playing defensively and offensively these past 3 weeks, we can have some MVP discussion because they have been a different looking team. Part of the reason for that is that he's been more, in my opinion, more willing to give the ball up.
You think J. Kidd got anything to do with it?
Oh, I think J. Kidd got something to do with that. I mean, it ends up being more beneficial for him. You got guys who got confidence. You got what's the guy name? Went to school in Portsmouth. I can't think of his name right now, but he played for them. Finney Smith.
Finney Smith, yeah.
Finney Smith is playing like he just earned himself a new contract as a 3-and-D guy, long defender. Like when you move the ball around, and you know what? Ultimately, when you start moving the ball around, guess what? If you're the best player on the team, it finds its way back. Like you don't have to be as ball dominant as he's been, but you gotta come.
He don't even have to be the point guard. Like let's end that. Let's stop that right there.
Thank you. He doesn't have to be. He can. You don't have to be the point guard to be the playmaker. And I think that's what we. You know what I'm saying? Like you can still make the correct play and get your teammates involved without having a title of point guard. You know?
Right. Yeah.
So, but I had to put him on there. And
I think so. So now looking at your third and second team, I mean, we had some different ones, but I think our first team is going to be the same except for one player.
That's it. I think so too.
So tell me your first team. Just give me all 5 of them, and then I'm gonna throw mine up there. Go ahead.
Joker, Tatum, Freak.
No. First team.
Okay. Embiid. I'm sorry. It is Embiid.
Okay.
It's
yeah.
Embiid,
Oh yeah.
Tatum, Greek Freak, Steph, and Ja.
Why do you got Steph first team?
Because I remember. You want answers?
Wait. So you put Steph first team and you got Booker third team?
Let me tell you why. Understand this. The reason why I got Steph first team and Book third team, I feel like it balanced out because I think that with CP3, you got another guy that could have possibly been considered for MVP consideration last year, right?
Right. Okay.
And I think that he's so good that Booker just had to hold. And that's unfair. It's unfair. But when you got two guys of that caliber, it's much easier to be as good as you were. And I think people are forgetting what Steph had a slump this season. But in the beginning of this year, Steph was playing the best basketball. He probably could have been in the MVP conversation. So I didn't forget that.
There's no way. There's no way you can put Steph over Book.
You see what the Warriors are doing. Minus
you
Steph.
See what Phoenix is doing.
But they ain't never. I do see what Phoenix do. They're the best team in the league. Phoenix is the best team in the league.
It's got to count for something. We didn't slight nobody on Golden State's team when they was the best team in the league. Everybody got their proper due. Clay made All-Star. Draymond made All-Star. Steph made All-Star. Steph won MVPs. Like everybody got their proper due when they like. You have to give the nod to the guy who is the who is the best player on the best team. You got to give him something. If he's not gonna get no MVP votes, you got to give him first team All NBA. You can't give him third.
He's, in my opinion, he's gonna get MVP votes. I think, and because of it, and so it's like if me and you are the best players on the team, you go down, I still carry the torch. We still got two of the best players on the. Nobody else got two players on any All NBA on my roster. He is good. He's great. He's a great basketball player. But when it came to All NBA, I wanted to focus on individuality, and I wanted to focus on, are you the sole reason your team is where it is right now? And I don't think while I think he's a huge part, I don't think he's the sole reason. I don't
think nobody's that good to be the sole reason.
I mean, minus CP3, the whole season. We saw what the Suns were a couple of years ago minus CP3. Devin Booker was good then. He was good. But when CP3 came, they became a title contender instantly.
Wait. Of course, I'm with you on that. But that was the first year they had Monty Williams.
That's true too.
correct?
That's true.
The team had just got together. Deandre Ayton, we haven't even seen him, like, because his rookie season he played well, and then he got hurt for the rest of the season, right?
That's true.
Then came back the next year. So I mean, we were still trying to see what Deandre Ayton was. So I can't take that year, but once they start figuring things out, because I think so he got hurt the first season.
Yeah.
The second season he had the PED suspension, correct?
Yeah, that was the second
right?
year.
So by the time the end of the season came, after they came back from the 3 months hiatus for COVID and they went in the bubble, that was the best team in the bubble. That's Devin Booker and Ayton and Monty Williams, just them three.
That's
no
true.
CP3, best team in the bubble. However, I guess going 8-0 wasn't enough because they didn't get into the playoffs for whatever reason, right?
Right.
Why didn't they get in the playoffs? I forgot about that. If they went 8-0.
Yeah, the bubbles was stupid. That's why. That's the only answer I got. They were the only team to go undefeated, and I thought that they would have gotten them, but I think it was dependent on if another team won, another team lost. I think the format that they have now is so much better. You win and you move, you got another chance. Like because they would have been the 8th seed had they had the rules now, but they won 8 straight games and they look good. So I get the argument. My only go ahead.
No, I was just about to say they probably would have beat the Lakers that year, but go ahead.
Possibly.
They would have been a better opponent than the Portland Trailblazers was.
I agree 100%. I agree 100%. They would have been a CJ McCollum-less Portland team. Yeah, they would have been a better opponent, and they probably would have beat them if the NBA allowed it. Because we already know, like, we ain't got to talk about that. But I get what you're saying. I really do. But the only reason is because I look at teams, and it's part of how I look at MVP races too. I looked at it like, okay, most valuable. What does most valuable mean? That means you are the important player on your team, right? Like the most important player, minus your team. Like I look at teams like, and that was it was either going to be, I think the balance was him and Ja could have switched spots. I could have had Ja first, a third team with Book instead of Book, but because honestly, his team has a great record without him.
True,
you know what I mean? They got a great record without him. But then I started looking. He's in the West. Book has been playing. And I think the meteoric rise this year, I think the improvement that Ja Morant made from last year to this year, so it sold it for me. You know what I mean? It absolutely sold it for me. And I was like, I can't not put him here. His team went from a non-playoff team, a play-in team. I think they were in the play-in last year, but a non-playoff team to a team that could potentially compete for the Eastern Conference, the Western Conference Finals. The only reason I put Book on third team is because of that, and I just was like, okay,
you're not gonna sleep right tonight. Now that you actually said it out loud,
I said
you go think about that and be like, man, Book on third team, man. And then when the playoffs start,
remind me why I should end.
You're gonna be regretting it. I guarantee you're gonna be regretting it. Guarantee you, man. Here's my first team all NBA, man. Joel Embiid at the center, Giannis at the power forward, Jason Tatum. I told you I struggled between Jason Tatum and KD.
It was tough.
But I gave it to, Jason Tatum was healthy most of the year and KD wasn't. Devin Booker, who is my actual pick for MVP this year, man, to be honest with you.
Okay.
Yeah. Over Embiid and Jokic and Morant. I mean, I mean, like I said, man, I'm a big believer in rewarding the team who is the best team in the league, man. Most times where a team had the best record in the league, that best player got MVP votes and MVP nods. If you go back and look at it. And then Ja Morant at the point guard, man. So
I'm not mad at it, man. I'm not mad at it. People probably are going to watch this and be mad at me, and I'm okay with it.
Be mad. but like I said, but we got the same first team.
Yeah, like except for that one spot.
Yeah, one spot. Booker, and I think did I have Curry on my third team? No, I had Curry on my second team.
Yeah, on your second team. So I mean, it ain't that it isn't. But we had basically the same group of people. I think I had
you didn't notice something. You didn't notice one person missing from my group though.
Let me look at the second team. Mark.
Okay, so here's third team. All right, look at it real quick. Third team: Gobert, Towns, Siakam, Chris Paul, Trae Young. Second team: Jokic, Durant, Luka, DeRozan, Curry.
Mm-hmm.
First team: Embiid, Giannis, Tatum, Booker, Morant. Who's missing?
Who did I have that you didn't have? Let me see. Oh,
you had LeBron.
I looked at my third team and I instantly. Oh, they gonna be mad.
Look, if I'm rewarding the best team in the league, you know I gotta tax one of the worst teams in the league, man. Like I'm not about to reward LeBron for being 17 games under 500, and then the games you missed and somebody finally get the same shots that you was getting, they did the same thing you did, scored 40. I mean, so what would have happened if the Lakers decided we're gonna run our offense through Melo? Melo could have averaged 25 to 30 points a game.
You're right. I'm not mad at it. It makes perfect sense. He would be the only player. Let me look, make sure that's not in the playoff or playing on my team.
Right.
Which means he's not competing. It's not competitive basketball. He's not playing competitive basketball.
Nope.
But you're putting up crazy, crazy numbers. And the numbers ain't as crazy when you put it in when y'all 17 games under 500.
No. Not impressive at all. Not at all.
Dang. Do you think my question, that's your team? I don't think they're gonna do that because I think that they have what do you think they're gonna do?
He's gonna make a all NBA team.
Mm-hmm.
And if it wasn't for Tatum and KD, he probably would make first or second. But so I think that the only thing they can do without causing an uproar is get him on the third team, which means Siakam won't be there. They would have him there over Siakam.
All right.
That's exactly what's gonna happen. They're gonna have him there over Siakam. So that means Jimmy Butler or Siakam is gonna miss out.
Mm-hmm.
No.
Because I had Jimmy on my third, but dang.
Yeah.
You know what? And it's crazy because I remember the years that one year that Brad Beal made it and his team, I think they might have been a playing team. And they were so mad. They not even playing competitive basketball. But Brad Beal was hooping. He was hooping. He was averaging close to 30, if not 30.
It was 30. You talking about last year, right?
Last year.
Yeah. He almost got the scoring title, but I think Steph ended up getting it.
Yeah, Steph ended up getting it.
But Westbrook helped him. The Wizards actually made the playoffs last year, right?
They did. Did they make the playoffs?
They made the playoffs.
They did make the playoffs.
And got whooped in the first round. Yeah.
First round exit. You're right.
Did the Hawks beat them first round?
I don't know if it was us who beat them the first round. No, because we played the Knicks the first round last year.
Sure enough did. So did Bill make an all NBA team last year?
I don't know if it was last year, but he made a team. And I remember everybody talking about how his team wasn't good. Why would you put him over whoever was the person that didn't make it? You get what I'm saying?
Right.
Every year. But I remember saying, I mean, at first I was like, yeah, they all right, man. His team ain't. But then I thought about it. If Bron team wasn't competitive, would that still be an argument? And the answer is no, because they're gonna put it like the team is not competitive.
No,
and I guarantee you'll be on the All NBA team. Like they're not competitive. They're not even like they were out last week. Like today was the last day of NBA games, and they were out. It wasn't even a close photo finish. The Spurs and the Pelicans both were ahead of them for the final playing spots. And the Pelicans been playing without Zion the whole year.
Yeah.
So
hey,
I mean,
you know what's crazy? Brandon Ingram coming, yo. So
listen, bro.
Those 4 spots, Tatum,
Somebody better
KD,
they better hold
Brandon
it up.
Ingram, them forward spots ain't gonna be open like that for a while.
That's
So
why.
I mean,
What do you think he does this? What do you, first of all, I'm not an NBA GM, but if any of you NBA GMs take that contract off their hands and you are setting yourself up and setting them up for success and setting yourself up for failure. That's all I had to say about that.
you talking about the Lakers and Westbrook?
Yeah, like don't
You,
allow them to trade that.
did you see the rumors floating around?
Who?
The rumors is that the Hornets are interested in Westbrook.
Why?
And I'm like, what?
Why?
What in the hey, is on there. I posted it. It's on there. I'm like, man, are they really interested? I don't believe it. I believe this is Collect Sports or the Lakers camp.
Oh yeah.
Just throwing stuff out there, hoping it sticks, man. But you never know in this league, man. You never know if someone comes to Jordan and say, man, you need to take one for the team. You know, we need the Lakers relevant again. You need to take one for the team. You know what I mean? So you never know. If they do that, then I know that this is 100% rigged. I mean,
nobody who watches basketball sees a team like the Hornets who are starting to find their way. Like like this was the first year that they like, okay, they got a direction. They are going to where they need to go. You get what I'm saying? And you bring Westbrook.
Lamar said them jokers couldn't even be the 10th best team in the conference, man.
Garbage.
Yeah, there's no alternative world or no planet that I want Westbrook on my squad at all. And if someone threw and this is coming from a Hornets fan page, the guy said it's actually not a bad idea if we can dump Gordon Hayward's contract. He said if we can get rid of Hayward's contract and Rozier's contract for Westbrook, which expires after the year, it'll be a good move. So I looked at it and I was like, okay, they got Gordon locked up to like 25. They got Rozier locked up to 24.
Really?
Right?
I didn't know that.
Yeah, and guess what their salaries next year add up to?
What Westbrook contract is?
There's exact $47 million that Westbrook is owed. So if he was saying if we could get rid of Hayward and Rozier, because Hayward we can't use them, and we got guards. They got book night that they ready to they got a bunch of guards for cheap. That was like if we can get rid of Rozier and Hayward for Westbrook and it expires after the year, then we're doing good things. And I said, okay, in that case, I get it. However, I would sit Westbrook like the Knicks did Marbury his last season there. I would not let him play. I mean, I would not put him on the floor. Not even I don't want you. I don't want your fingerprints nowhere on my squad. You can't even practice with us. Just sit on the bench.
Better be a heck of a cheerleader.
And don't talk either. Don't talk. I don't want you in none of my point guards' ear. There's nothing you can tell. No, don't talk. Shut up. Just sit on the bench. Yeah.
Don't talk to Melo at all. Don't talk to LaMelo Ball at all.
Exactly. And I'm gonna add a dress code in your contract. Don't come up when nothing distracted.
Yeah. Like he has just become a whole sideshow. And I hate to even put it like that. Like the basketball portion, I don't understand. If he knew his, I ain't gonna say role or his place, which now and probably should have been a long time ago, a backup guard, a backup point guard, a backup player, wing player even,
Yeah.
Then it'd be fine. But he is not, he don't know that. I think he really believes, or does he? Does he know it? Or he's just trying to convince everybody else?
I don't know. I'm gonna tell you what I think, but let me address Lamar first. First of all, Lamar, you don't come at the GOAT like that. I'm tired of y'all talking about the GOAT and his GM ability. Leave that man alone, man. There's nothing wrong with he said if the Hornets take Westbrook, they're not serious about the franchise. MJ should get forced out his team if he take on Westbrook. Hey, look, man, no GOAT slander, man. Not on man down. You can't slander the GOAT, man. But nah, this is what Westbrook is to me. When Westbrook came in the league, he was an elite athlete. He had elite speed. I mean, he had a good basketball body, right? And but not he was he was light on the skills as far as shooting and other things, right? So I think his best role as a player should have been somewhat of what Rondo was. Like, I'm going to be a high IQ guy, and I'm going to pass my butt off and play defense. I'm going to be that type of guy, right? But being able to score, like they made a wrong decision with benching Harden and starting Westbrook. And Westbrook being a guy that's getting the second most shots on the team. Those shots really probably should have went to Harden, but Westbrook was getting the most shots. So getting the second most shots, it's not hard to average 20 plus because you're the number 2.
Yep.
So him getting those 20 plus points in his head made him think he was a scorer. And then that's when it went downhill. And then when KD broke his foot and Westbrook was the number 1 scorer and he scored all those points, and that was it. He thought he was on he thought he was on KD level, on LeBron level, on Chris Paul level. He Dame Lillard, he thought he was a scorer like that. And he never understood what he really should have been, and he should have been just Rondo 2.0. That's what he should have been. But it's too late for that now.
It's too late. Like, man, you know what was funny? What you just said was 100% fact. And when we are looking at what he was coming out of college, super athletic, high energy guy, light on the scale. Yeah. What is he
now? Half of all of that. Because athleticism is a depreciating asset.
It is.
It don't get better with time; it gets worse. And then his IQ. I mean, it's not all-star level, right? And his skill level is still not all-star level. Like, the only thing that was all-star level was his physical attributes.
That's it.
And as soon as his physical attributes diminish, he's not an all-star no more because he does nothing at the all-star level anymore.
Exactly.
But in his mind, when people tell you, hey, should you blah, 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 he looks at you like,
are you serious?
Yeah, you know what I've done in this league? I've averaged triple doubles. That's how he look at you. Like, that's, reporter asked him a question. He's like, or like when they asked him about the people from Minnesota clowning him and stuff like that. He was like,
none of those guys did anything close to what I've done in this league.
Right. And translation is, I'm Westbrook. I averaged a triple double.
And so I'm better than them, all of them.
Right. They haven't averaged a triple double. Like, he ain't done it in this league except average a triple double.
Which won him the MVP.
That's it. And won the MVP. Right.
But that's what won him the MVP, in my opinion. I mean, I think
that's exactly what won him. It wasn't winning. It wasn't team success.
Nah.
He didn't do what Ja did this year. Like, Ja got his Grizzlies playing phenomenal team basketball on the offensive and defensive end. Right. And the record reflects it. Westbrook's never done anything like that. Never. He just averaged a triple double. That's it.
And that's why I hate, because I see there's still Westbrook defenders out there. There's still some. There's still a lot of Westbrook defenders saying that, man, stop disrespecting him because of what he's done. And I don't think that it's like, if you are a basketball fan and not a Russell Westbrook fan, it's easy to say, okay, dude, you are not playing winning basketball on any level. You're not playing winning basketball on any level, so there's no reason for people to be coming to the defense of this guy who the play is not there. And then I saw somebody say, oh, he on the Lakers team, he was first in this and he was first in that. He had the most assists and second in points. And the Lakers are trash. Like, they're not a good basketball team. It does not matter what he did on the team. It ain't like he did it for the NBA. He did it for the team that ain't even in the play-in.
Fact. Lamar said those Bron defenders should be in the same boat with the West.
They gotta be.
Yeah.
They gotta be the same people. They the same people. They gotta be the same group of people, but because at the end of the day, those are people. I think who was it that you said? Those are people who have never witnessed true skill on a basketball court, or never witnessed it, never even participated in it, never was next to it, none of that. The only thing they can relate to is run and jump guys.
Yeah, they ain't got appreciation for the other stuff, none whatsoever. So let's get into this play-in tournament, and let's spend about 5 minutes on that before we close out. So on the West, Pelicans are the 9th seed, Spurs are the 10th seed, and T-Wolves are the 7th, and Clippers are the 8th seed. Out of those 4 teams, which one is the better team that you think is just the best team out of the 4?
So we got Pelicans, Spurs at 9 and 10, and we got Clippers, T-Wolves. You said
correct.
Paul Pierce is back. Paul George is back.
Paul George is back. Is a rumor Kawhi might come back if they make it to like the second round.
Jeez,
because he got hurt in the second round, and ACLs usually take a whole year.
Mm-hmm.
So they hit the second round for him would be like the 12-month mark.
12-month window, and he's probably been ramping it up these past couple of weeks anyway.
And he has,
that would be, Jeez, that's gonna be scary in the West.
So, it is because they was able to keep their team afloat enough to be in
to even have a chance,
right? And then now you get PG-13 back, and Kawhi might come back, and it's the same thing on the East, man. The Nets might get Ben back, but anyway, let's go. So who's the better team? All right, so we can go ahead and X out the Pelicans and Spurs, right? Or can't we?
They're not the better team. No,
Ingram and CJ
and McCollum. I think they're a good team. I think they're going to beat the. I think I don't know if what's my guy name who just made an All-Star team. I like his game for the Spurs.
For Pelicans.
For the Spurs.
DeJounte Murray.
DeJounte Murray. I like him, but I don't know if he's playing.
I don't know if lately.
He ain't been playing lately, so I don't know if he's going to be.
Guy out there too, man. Lonnie Walker.
Lonnie Walker's out there, and Lonnie Walker. This is the.
He's cold.
This game, no matter win, lose, or draw, if DeJounte don't play, Lonnie Walker's gonna have one of those games.
Oh, it's gonna be his first time in that. Oh, he gonna look like Lillard out there a little bit.
Yeah.
So give me 1 through 4. Who's the best team?
I'm gonna say with Paul George being back, I gotta put Clippers. I don't know. Wait a minute. I don't know.
It's tough, man.
It's tough. Anthony Edwards getting called Anthony Towns, and D'Angelo Russell down there too.
That's gonna be a good game, bro. Oh, I'm not missing that one. I'm not missing that game.
We can't miss.
I'm not missing that game.
That was
T-Wolves Clippers. You gotta pick one. Which one? Who's number 1? Who's the best team?
I'm going to pick the best team out of the 4. I'm gonna say T-Wolves.
It's hard. I think I'm going T-Wolves too, bro.
I'm gonna say T-Wolves.
Reggie Jackson and PG-13 and Ty Lue.
Shout out to Reggie Jackson because that dude has been hooping this year. That dude has kept them afloat, and he's been playing another guy that was behind Westbrook at one time.
Boy, it's gonna be some good play-in and playoff games. A lot of young talent about to shine in the playoffs. Yeah, you're right, Lamar. Yeah. So you got T-Wolves, I got T-Wolves. Who's the second best? Is it gonna be Pelicans or Clippers?
These young kids are good. I didn't even think about CJ and BI.
BI, yeah. And they play defense out there.
They play defense, and that dude Jackson Hayes has been playing different.
I think they should think about go ahead and trade Zion.
Me too.
That's another topic for another day. I think they should trade him.
I think it might not be a bad idea because now him being healthy, he still has the allure that where you can draw so much back from him. You can fix your entire roster by trading him right now. Yeah,
I agree 100%.
Yeah,
y'all think Zion gonna come back for the play-in? I haven't heard that rumor yet, Lamar. It's possible he might come back. But what do you do with him if he comes back? Do you take the minutes away from Jackson Hayes all of a sudden? I don't think you do.
Nah,
I think to be honest with you, if I'm David Griffin, Zion doesn't play another minute in the Pelicans jersey.
He definitely don't play. If I'm David Griffin, I agree. I'm
seeing
this summer. I think New York will be one of the prime suits. I don't know what they have to offer as far as picks and whatnot.
Man, I give them a heads up for a first rounder and Julius Randle right now. Give me Julius Randle and the first rounder, and you can have Zion. 100%. 100%.
Yeah. I mean, he's not. I think that. Yeah, send him to the Knicks. That I think that he comes back. He's relegated to, I don't know, a second unit big. You ain't gonna have the wind to run up and down the court. Like let's say this: the Pelicans get the 8th seed, and now in the first round they playing against the Suns. Like, what is Zion gonna do out there? What is he gonna do? Like you have not been a part of this NBA season. You ain't seen what the Suns been doing. Well, you probably seen it on TV, but being out there at 300 pounds with bad feet, it's gonna be tough.
It's possible that he comes back in the playoffs and he shows us something like maybe they say we gonna take it easy. We're not gonna start you, but he come out there and he just on the glass, rebounding, just getting a whole bunch of hustle stuff. They're not running no plays for him. They're not trying to force him to be Giannis and bring the ball up court. All of that stuff. If they can figure out a way to run that offense the way it's normally running, and Zion comes out there and be
a rim running rebound.
Exactly. Beat Dennis Rodman.
You'll still
block
get points.
Shots. Yeah, rebound, block shots, run the floor, get dunks, do that, and we ain't running no offense for you. You just ain't that type of dude. We might give you a couple of post ups depending on what it is, but if they can do that, if they
get with it.
What's going on, Dino? Yeah, if they can do that, I think they'll be legit. So I'm gonna go with T-Wolves, Clippers 1 and 2, Pelicans, Spurs 3 and 4. What I think is going to actually happen, I think the Pelicans will beat the Spurs, and I think the T-Wolves will beat the Clippers, and then the Clippers are going to beat the Pelicans. So the Clippers will be the 8th seed, the T-Wolves will be the 7th seed. On the East Coast.
So we're going to get a first. So if that happens, we're going to get a first round of PG versus D-Book. This playoff is about to be wild.
About to be lit. About to be real lit, man. And then you're going to get T-Wolves against Ja Morant. Yo, this is crazy. This is crazy, man. So on the East Coast, you got the Hawks at the number 9 and the Hornets at the number 10. That is amazing because the Hawks from Georgia to Charlotte, not it's a far drive. So you know what I mean. So it might be a home game for them because the Charlotte Hornets don't fill up their seats like that. You know what I mean. So it might be a lot of Georgians out there.
It's gonna be good. It's gonna be good. It's gonna be a good game because I think that this is we down John Collins. I kind of looked at this season as a wash around All-Star time.
Yeah.
Just because we just now getting healthy fully.
Yeah.
And we still got some guys that's missing games, and we depending too much on guys that like Danilo Gallinari. Like he has to play well for us to win games because he's our starting power forward now.
Yeah.
I just don't see us winning a whole bunch. So we could very well lose this game. I think Trey gonna do with Trey stuff. Yeah, I think we could but because Miles Bridges is a name that I like to I want people to be reminded of because if he makes another jump next year, like he made this year, then like you said, them forward spots gonna get taken up really quick.
I got Bridges for most improved player this season.
I'm not mad at that.
A lot of people want to try to give it to Ja, but Ja was already a beast.
We already knew he was gonna be a star. Yeah. He did elevate his game. Don't get it twisted.
Yeah.
But we already knew he was a star. He's a star. Ja Morant is a star.
Yeah, I'm giving it to Miles this year. So you think so? I'm gonna go ahead and rank them 1 through 4.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going Nets mostly off star power and potential, but
of course.
I think Cleveland probably playing well without Jared Allen, which he comes back for this game, but without them they haven't been playing their best. But I think Cleveland, he's coming back for the play-in. Yeah, so that's gonna be Yeah, that's gonna make it different for the Nets. But I still got Nets number 1,
Yeah,
Cavs 2. It's hard for me to put
it's a wash.
3 and 4 between Hornets and Hawks. I think that's
It's
just a
just a
tied
wash.
3.
It's a
Yeah,
wash.
they kind of
It's
like the
the
same.
same team. They're the
Yeah,
same team. That's why they're so close. Like, who said that? Somebody. Yeah, the East standings is so close this year. The Hornets and Hawks are like the same right now. I mean, maybe with John Collins, we might have the slight edge if he was playing, but he's not going to be playing. He probably. I'm
yeah,
going to say this. He might not play another game in a Hawks uniform because I think they've rushed this rebuild.
yeah.
Because of the success we had last year. You know, you make it a couple of games away from the finals. It's like, all right, let's go now. You know, we're not
What is
changing
it?
nothing.
His shoulder again?
It's a shoulder and his a foot. He got 3 injuries: his shoulder, foot, and finger. So with 3 injuries, I don't think he comes back. He may try to give it a go. But it's going to be really, really tough for Trey. Like, we got Trey in a team full of shooters, which is good because he has the ball in his hand a lot. But that's a recipe
Anything
to get
can
up.
happen.
Anything can happen. Exactly.
Anything can happen. But what I think is going to happen, I'm kind of nervous for the Nets with Jared Allen coming back. Man, that defense and that rebounding, but the Nets been rebounding pretty good. And to be honest with you, I think they've been shelving Blake Griffin.
Me too. For now.
Yeah.
For times
So
like
I
now.
think, yeah. And they cut James Johnson.
Yeah.
I think Blake go get some playoff minutes. I don't know if it's gonna be in this play-in game, but I hope they got a plan for Blake. And they just got him on the shelf. But I think Knicks will win that game, so they'll get the 7th seed. And I'm gonna be honest with you, and this is not me being a homer.
You're not a homer.
I think the Hornets is gonna beat the Hawks.
Mm-hmm.
And then beat the Cavs, and then be the 8th seed. The Hornets are going to win 2 games and be the 8th seed.
Ooh.
So you're going to have a Hornets Heat. Heat. Hold on, Heat still got it number 1. It'll be Hornets Heat first round matchup, and Nets. Who's number 2? Is it Boston or It's Boston, right?
I think it's Boston. I think Boston clinched it today. Let me look real quick.
Which I don't like that matchup for the Nets. So
I don't like that matchup for the Nets either.
I don't either. Yeah, I think the Nets can beat without Ben Simmons. I think the Nets can beat. Without Ben Simmons, the Nets can beat the Bulls. They can beat the Hornets, the Hawks, the Cavs.
You know what? The Bucks got number 2.
Because Milwaukee got number 2
because they own a tiebreaker over the Celtics.
Well, I don't like that. No team on the East Coast that wear green, the Nets can beat without Ben Simmons. If you're in the East and you wear green, you can beat the Nets without Ben Simmons. But if Ben Simmons come and he can give them some, if he can come out and play healthy, then I give them a chance against Milwaukee or Boston. But without that, because they need someone other than KD that's long and athletic that can stick with Giannis, Middleton, or Brown, Tatum, right?
And
Ben Simmons,
It's he be gas. He has to carry him offensively, and then he got a guard. He was guarding Trey Young for a lot of the game that we played them last week. And I think they ran out of gas because he had to do so much. So I agree. It's a bad formula when you I got to carry you on offense and I got to carry you on defense. Yeah, Ben Simmons, if he just shows up and be 6'10" and just stands in front of people and play good defense, we don't even need him to be a ball handler. I mean, he can do it, but they don't need him to. They just need him to come out there and be able to play defense. I think and if that happens, then they can beat anybody in the East.
Which is a reason why that young kid Edwards,
Kessler Edwards.
Yeah, they cut James Jones for Edwards. Only because he was athletic and long and he could play D, and he's been playing good. They need another wing that can guard these tall, long wings because they coming out. The Nets are coming out there playing Patty Mills a lot of minutes, Kyrie Irving a lot of minutes, Steph Curry a lot of minutes, and Bruce Brown.
Small guards.
And they got Bruce Brown playing forward and power forward.
Yes, he's a guard.
So those small guards, and then they get a little bit of help when they bring Dragon in. He's at least 6'2", 6'3", you know what I mean? But he ain't a lockdown defender.
He ain't gonna lock nobody up.
Too many small guards, man, and it's not gonna be a problem playing Philly because their big wings are not going to punish you for having
Like,
those little guys out there, especially not James Harden.
Not like this. James Harden, and even with Maxey, he's not a big guy. You get what I'm saying? So, and Matisse is not a offensive guy. So, I mean, their wings ain't gonna kill you like a Jaylen Brown and a Jason Tatum would demolish you on the wing. You get what I mean? So they need to play against those guys that can. If they don't have Ben Simmons, it's gonna be tough for them.
It's gonna be real tough, man. But
if the Hornets get there, I don't know, because Oladipo starting around in the form too. He's gonna be. I think he's gonna be a key piece for them coming off the bench.
Hornets can beat them. Hornets can beat them.
Okay.
They're gonna make it interesting.
They can make it interesting. They can make it. That's what I was looking at. Looking at them, they rely a lot. The Heat, while they're a good team, obviously they're the number 1 seed in the East. They're a good team. They rely so much on Tyler Herro scoring, because everybody else plays tough defense. Even if it's Kyle Lowry drawing charges, Bam locking up. They rely so much on Tyler Herro scoring. If you're able to limit Tyler Herro, the Hornets have enough scoring, from everywhere, and enough, facilitating from Melo Ball. They can give these guys some problems. They can give the Heat some issues. I'm telling you, I've seen.
Interesting.
The Hawks just played both of those teams within the past month, and I can see it. The Hornets, they're young enough to not care. You get what I'm saying? They're young enough to not care.
What if the Hawks win out instead of the Hornets? Do you think the Hawks still can give Miami problems?
It's gonna be tough without John Collins, man. They just a more physical team than us. And Trey's at the end of the day, we just played them and we held them close within the last 2 minutes. Trey didn't turn on the map. I mean, he still had 36 and 11, but we need him.
It's gonna be so interesting, man.
I don't know what's about to happen.
I'm so nervous for the Nets, man, because the Bucks, golly, bro,
they are a problem.
The Bucks just lost though. I think
it was a big game too. Who was it?
Yeah, I think the 2 seed is I think Boston got the 2 seed, man.
I know they got the same record. They have the exact same record, 51 and 31. 2, 3, and 4 got the same. It's a 3-way tie with Boston, the Bucks, and the Sixers.
We're gonna have to come back and do a show on that.
Goodness gracious!
I think we're gonna have to do post games on all the play-in and playoff games, bro.
It's gonna mean a lot. Yeah. It's gonna mean a lot. Yeah. This is gonna be I think this playoffs is gonna rival last year's. I think if the Hawks are able to squeeze in and John Collins can play, I think he is the perfect Robin for Trey, who thrives on the big stage to make some noise. But other than that, I agree. They do got skills to create points, but they Duncan Robinson is a 3-point threat. I think that that's just what he is, and he's nothing more than that. Max Strus has played well, and Victor Oladipo, he's starting around, and I think he had 40 today. They benched their starters. But he played and he had 40 today. I like Gabe Vincent and Caleb Martin, but those guys aren't guys who can carry the team.
Hey, I gotta head out. My bad.
Let's do it.
Yeah. So we'll go ahead and end it, man. I thought I had more time, but I explained to you. But anyway, we'll come back. This was a good one, man. But next weekend when all this stuff start, man, the playing and all that stuff start, man, we'll be back after each game.
Corey Luka got hurt. Dang, I ain't know. I'm about to check it out now.
All right, y'all. Peace.